My transformation is my rebel story. My rebel story started on October 1st, 2015. That's the day that I met JJ Virgin. I didn't realize that that rebel pilot light started. See, prior to that, I was working in big healthcare. I was 25 years solid in the industry. 2 years prior to 2015, I got my dream job. I was working for the nation's e-prescribing network. This was the pill pipeline that connected all the doctors, all the pharmacies, all the pharmacy benefit managers, all the electronic health record systems, everything. They did more transactions per year than American Express did, right? And I was highly sought after, and it was an amazing experience. But that day changed everything for me because I was learning from the establishment, and the establishment was selling to me the only doctors that are real doctors are the ones in the system. Those other doctors, those alternative care doctors, no, they're not doctors. They didn't get real degrees. They are just whacks, right? Quackos. Like it was just embedded in my system. And after that day, I started talking with you. I started learning from you, and I started realizing that that was false. That the real doctors are in this room. And so I started asking questions. I started asking questions of the establishment. I started asking questions of my company. Why are you celebrating new prescriptions? Why are you celebrating an increase in that? Why don't we start celebrating a decrease in that? And guess what? They looked at me like I had 3 horns coming out of my head. And I started asking the doctors, like, how do you feel about this? And they're like, it rips our heart out at the core. Because we want to practice medicine. We don't want to sit behind a chart. We don't want to do quality ratings, HEDIS reports, right? All those things that they have, they're taskmasters. So the decision was, for me, to really question this. And I questioned it for years. And then something happened in 2020. Does anybody remember something that happened? Yeah. Well, I remember it because I saw what the system was doing to these healthcare workers, what the big government system was doing to you, what social media was doing to you. It wasn't right. So I made a decision to step away from that world because I wasn't in alignment anymore. It was time for me to step into this world and to expose what was going on in that world, the corruption, the profitability, the continuation of the sick care system. I was done. And guess what? That pilot light sparked. That sparked something inside of me. That sparked that rebel energy in me. And I became a superhero. Right? So let's roll through this because I want to give you an insight as to what I experienced while I was with that company from 2013 until 2022. Get the next slide, please. All right. While they're doing that, don't you love this LED wall? This thing amazing. Thank you. All right, great. All right. Healthcare industry consolidations, all right? You got Big Pharma, Big Healthcare, and the pharmacy benefit managers. This is the world I lived in. Now, there's complete other worlds out there that we know are corrupt, but this is the one I want to really focus on. Because all this was happening from 2010 until now, and big government has been in the middle of all this. All right, 80-40. Anybody know what this is? Probably don't, because it's my slide. All right, so the pharmacy benefit managers, these are the companies that control all the hospital formularies. These are the ones that set drug prices. These are the ones that are basically embedded in the world of prescriptions. 80%, all right, 3 companies. And guess what? Big health and care insurance control. It's like United owns Optum, Aetna owns CVS, Cigna or Express Scripts owns Cigna. You have 3 of the largest health insurance companies owning the pharmacy benefit managers. You know what that means? There's no more transparency. Pharmacy benefit managers are set up to be transparent. They are no longer transparent. They're in the vertical. And guess what CVS has got? They've got the health plan, right? The PBM, and they've got the pharmacy, right? They're a complete vertical. That's one of the most corrupt organizations I have ever been witness to. And guess what? They own 40% of the company I used to work for. All right? Also, did you know that the top 15 private healthcare systems own nearly 32% of all the hospitals? All the independent hospitals are going away. And look at the growth. Look at that. As the independent hospitals go down, their growth scales. But wait, there's more, unfortunately. March 2010, this is a significant date. This is when the Affordability Care Act was signed, also known as the ACA. All right? This required physicians to do all this. All right? That was a challenge on these independent physicians. They were required to do a whole lot in order to accept Medicare and Medicaid money. Also, look what happened. The ownership of these physician practices went from 25 to 47% in 13 years. They also owned these physician practices. Look at the growth there. But let's see what this all means. All right? Big Pharma's influence. This is what doctors get out of medical school. Look at nutrition, supplements, exercise. We also see the fills. We're almost at 6 billion prescriptions filled in this country. That's almost $200 billion that's going to Big Pharma and everybody that's in the middle of this corrupt system. But when we look at chronic care and the crisis that we're in, guess what it tracks with? Hospital ownership of physician practices. This approach clearly doesn't work, and it never will. So what do we need to do to change? In my view, we need to go for the top of the funnel. That is the primary care system. That is the broken system. Yeah, come on, we are in this. And guess what? I am announcing today that we have created a new health paradigm alliance. And you are all invited to be a part of this because we are going to change the world. And what this means is that this is going to be a collective effort of all of us, not just you, healthcare, doctors and accredited health professionals, but we also want to bring in technology companies like Travis Bond and BioInsights, right? We've got a ton of technology, AI, health products, lab companies, compound pharmacies. We need new insurance models, and we need health and wellness centers. Wouldn't it be great if we turned all those CVS's and Walgreens into compound pharmacies and health and wellness centers, right? Because those things are convenience stores. If you walked into one, it's alcohol, they got rid of the tobacco. Well, great for them, but they kept the chips and they kept the candy, right? And you can go get some gift cards there too. They're absolutely worthless because they're centers of poison. All right? These are the therapies, and this is just page one. Like, I could probably add 6 more pages of this. This is what the new health paradigm is going to enable, right? We're going to enable these types of therapies. So how does this happen, right? This becomes more powerful one rebel at a time. You are the rebel to make this happen. So I launched our new podcast, and I want to hear your rebel story. I want to know when that spark happened, when that pilot light started, what was that made you say, you know what? No more. No more. And I've been hearing some amazing stories, and I want to capture those because this is where this is where we raise the vibration, not only in this room, we raise this vibration in the world to really deliver, to start to see those curves go down. One last thing. That red square right there, this is the real deal. Guess where you are in this? You are right here, right? Because you were in here and you were in this system and you were doing what you're doing, you jumped out. Now it's time to get into action. So I look forward to hearing your rebel stories. Let's get this new health paradigm alliance rocking. Thank you.